laying it up. You keep it laying it up. Yeah.
Well, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Shane Davis.
And I am Brandon Fountain, and we are the Controlled Burn. Welcome back. We missed you.
How's your week been?
It's been weekend.
Yeah, it's been doing that.
It's been weekend.
All day. Or day.
It has been weekend.
It's been fucking hot.
Dude, it's miserable.
Something about El Nino. I don't know. It's going to be
Well, if that's
records.
the case, then El Nino sucks.
No, I saw an article talking about we're going to have historic weather this year because El Nino is the craziest it's ever been.
What is El Nino again? It's some kind of breeze or something?
It's I think it starts in the equator and it comes from the Pacific Ocean, right? And here's the thing, probably all fucked up. Someone's listening to this being like, "You guys are dumb." But I do
Don't
know.
ever try to branch into weather.
Where I grew up at, I grew up in Southern California, and in 1996 was a really, really bad El Nino year. Because every year there's like an El Nino or something like that. But it basically, it's going to dictate like how much rainfall you're going to have or how terrible the rest of the country's winter is going to be. But it has something to do with the ocean being too warm or too cold. Apparently, when it's really warm, you're going to have a terrible, terrible couple seasons. And apparently, which I very briefly read this article, but it was in Celsius, which I don't, can't really wrap my head around. But it said something like it should be around 24 degrees Celsius, and it's hitting around 31 degrees Celsius. Which I don't know how Celsiuses work, but this seems like a big Celsius.
It's a big swing, I think.
But it's been terrible. It's been in the 100s. But the humidity has been living around 40 to 50%.
Yeah, miserable.
Yeah, it's bad.
Which is what makes Oklahoma so poop when it's hot. It's just that heat. I mean, sometimes we touch those ungodly numbers, but we don't have to have a whole lot of high heat here. We just got to have that humidity.
No,
And we got it.
It makes me wonder because like last year's summer felt pretty mild. This year seems like it sucks, but I get 15 alerts on my phone every day telling me how bad the weather is going to be, and I feel like that's a fairly new thing. Like how long ago? Like Amber Alerts have been going on for what, 10 years, maybe?
Something like that.
I feel like in the last 2 years, I've been getting hammered with weather alerts. So I'm like, man, maybe we've been adults for closing in on 20 years. So I'm like, maybe the first 10 years of adulthood, we just didn't get alerts and it was terrible. And we just, figured it out when you got outside.
So El Nino is when a huge section of the tropical Pacific Ocean becomes unusually warm. You're right. And that extra heat changes weather patterns around the world. So basically, and yeah, you're right, it's right around the equator. And it's...
Oh, look at that retention, bro.
Yeah. Crazy, bro.
Yeah, apparently it's supposed to be pretty shit.
So there's El Nino, La Nina, and Enso. And El Nino is unusually warm tropical Pacific, the pattern we're talking about. Then there's La Nina, basically the opposite, unusually cool tropical Pacific. And then Enso means neutral. Neither one is dominant.
Okay. That makes... Dude...
Weird.
So I've been going down, you know me, man. I'll go down weird, random paths. It started with in which, forgive me, I don't know her whole name, but her tagline is Kelsey Rowe, and this young athlete, her name's Kelsey. She took a rowboat from Northern California and rowed to Hawaii.
I saw her.
Bro, so
super awesome.
I discovered her when she was about halfway through it because
and you followed her the rest of the way.
So finished to Hawaii, and she beat the solo for men and women, which I think the difference was like several days between the solo record holder male to female. But because I did that, that put me on a whole algorithm of crazy ocean people. And I've got this other guy. So it took her, I want to say 14 days, if I remember right. It was like something like 14 days to complete that row, which when you hear rowboat, like your brain like thinks like little wooden ship boat with a couple paddles, like, or oars. These rowboats are pretty dope. Like they have a cabin, like you can go in there and take a nap. Like they're pretty sick. They have like a little there's like a little motor, which, you know, it's like enough to like at best be like a trolling motor, I think, and it pumps water out, but they're pretty cool. Like they're for sure not cheap. But I found this other guy in like I was communicating with this dude earlier. His name is Dave Dinger Bell. His nickname is Dinger. This guy is madman. Like he reminds me of Irish Dan. Like he's very like Irish Dan personality. He's on day 271 out at sea in a rowboat.
What's he trying to do?
So he is his end goal is Mauritius, which I don't know what Mauritius is. It sounds awesome, but I know it's somewhere close to India because I've been following his map, and he's almost there. He's like within, I'd say, a couple weeks of being there, but he's like out in the middle of the ocean right now talking to me. And I follow him. He uploads a video like every day, about every other day. And dude, I mean, Kelsey finished her.
He's got a Starlink or something?
Yeah, well, that's what it is. So all these, because I've been watching like different rowers. I've transitioned over to people who live on sailboats. Like, bro, I know more than I should know about ocean currents right now. Like, I'm frosty. I found another guy that's doing a solo around the Arctic, like the Northern Sea. Like he had to stop and turn around because like he was by Russia, but then
shouldn't go there.
Well, you have to get passports, right? And he's like a science boat. I forget his name. He's crazy, but he's done it with teams before. But they get to a
Dinger?
point. No, this is another guy.
Oh, okay.
But they have to move ice. They have to have someone on the tippy tip of their boat, like moving ice chunks out of the way. I'm like, hell no. But
that sounds
Dave,
terrible.
he's using Starlink every day.
How big is the boat? Dave's boat?
The
same little rowboat thing?
Just like Kelsey's, the same style. But he's almost made it a whole year out in the ocean. And then
What's he eating? Do people bring him food, or is he fishing?
No, man, actually, that's a great fucking question. So
why don't you ask him?
He hasn't.
Let's get him on the show.
This is his second. Dude, it'd be nasty to do whatever.
Zoom him in.
Zoom in. Well, so what I was kind of getting to on that, and you if I would have hit it when you ooped me up. So Starlink, all these sailors use Starlink, right? Starlink, it's a pretty great tool. Like,
yeah.
Well, and a lot of these like sailors will go to like random islands, and then they'll be like, kind of like third world style places that if they get their sailboat close enough to them, like everybody can connect to the Starlink, and then they can, use the internet.
It's crazy.
So Starlink just announced like a week ago that they are now effectively killing their forever international roaming. So what they're transitioning to is like if you have a passport and you're like going to different countries, the way it works is you basically can go to most countries just to visit, but then you have an allotted amount of time, which it's usually around like 30 days, to where you have to leave the country or apply for a visa. So a lot of people, like if they're in America, they'll wait till that like last day, and then they'll go to Mexico, walk across the border, get a stamp, and then walk right back, and then your time's reset. So Starlink is kind of adopting that to where if you're in international like waters, you have to go back to your home country after 30 days to reset your forever internet clock. And so people like Dave Dinger, that's out in the middle of nowhere, that has no ability to just, go back to England real fast and reset his clock, are getting hammered. But right now, like my Facebook page is all these different sailor like media personalities making videos pleading to Starlink to stop. And I'm like,
So
in Oklahoma,
I'm confused. So what's the deal with Starlink? Like, I don't understand why. What are they doing? Charging money? Like charging more if they want to keep the internet?
so
Because
I don't even think they're giving it. I don't even think they're allowing the option. Like, I don't even think it's like a you can pay more. Like,
because Starlink's only allowed if you're in America.
I think the point of Starlink was to be internet for, like, it's internet for people who can't get internet, essentially.
Right.
So if you're from a place that you have internet, I think they're, like, it wasn't ever intended for you. But they don't have, there's not a lane for people that, like, a lot of these people, they live on the ocean. Like, they don't really
They've
have
had satellite internet for a while. It's just
You're right.
shit.
It just sucks. Yeah.
Starlink's just pooped on it.
I mean, you've seen Starlink like launches, right?
Yeah.
Like, dude, it was my honeymoon. The
I
first
have
time I ever saw
Starlink.
one. You bought the whole.
Well, me and Matthew
setup?
have a mini.
Dude, they're fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like, because you can buy the setup at Best Buy.
Yeah, that's where we got it. $200, $300.
Yeah,
$400.
Like, and I think there's like levels.
Yeah,
that you
I've got.
can-
Actually, I'll tell you what package I have. I think it's $50 a month. I got the lowest one just because, but yeah.
Well, in like on my honeymoon, so this was 5 years ago ish. I'm sitting in a hot tub and I look up and I mean it literally, like, it looked like either like a military formation, like in space, or we were getting invaded. Like, I sat there and watched this thing for like 50. I recorded it.
Oh, the
like,
blinking lights.
Well,
It's lines? Yeah.
they're in a like in a formation, and they're staggered like evenly. And at the time, it was so new that even like looking it up on the internet to figure out what it was, it took me forever until finally I found someone that was like, "Oh, it's a Starlink launch from like Florida or Texas, wherever they launch from." But it's pretty badass. But when you look at how many satellites they actually have around the world now, it's kind of fucking crazy. Like, it's uncomfortable. Like, they have a lot. Like,
Well, they literally have apps now so you can track how many Starlink satellites are, like, when you can see them and all kinds of stuff.
well, in our iPhones, on either the most recent update or the last like couple, because we go to a lot of places they're in the middle of nowhere, and I've got a handful of customers that we've had that I just know my phone's not going to work for like around 30 minutes around there, and so I don't even I know how to leave from there without having to use my maps, because I kind of had to learn. But now our phones will ask you when you have no service, like, do you want to try to connect to a satellite?
Yeah.
Dude, it's the coolest thing. Like,
It is. It takes forever, but it's cool.
well, and you have to, like, I've had to get out of the car and like walk around until I find a satellite and then attach to it. But literally, I can send text through it. Like, it kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But we're at a place in 2026 where I can talk to a dude named Dinger that's out in the middle of the ocean on a rowboat, taking chances, testing fate. I'm like, bro. And he was talking about watching, he's like, yeah, I've been spending a lot of time, because he's in the middle of a storm right now. So he's been having to like chill in his cabin for like 5 days. And I'm like, dude, that's I don't know, to me, incredible. I'm like, you're like, I don't know how I could turn my brain off being out in the middle of the ocean in a storm, just hoping things don't go awry, watching Netflix. Like, he's straight up watching movies and shit. I'm like, I can't do it. We were supposed to have a guest today, which I don't think I talked to you. which I guess it was a bad idea. So Mary Lane is going to be on the podcast in the next week, maybe 2 weeks. But she was going to come on today, but we should have known better. So she took vacation all last week, and today's Wednesday. So she has been playing like try to fix the world mode for the last couple days. And like me and you, we've learned, like, if we're going to take any time off, like, we got to be really wise on how we plan that time. But if we just willy-nilly miss, more than a day, even a day, it will bite us in the ass. But so right now she's feeling that, and she she called me back because I was trying to confirm, and she finally hit me back and was like so apologetic and was like, I was like, dude, stop. I'm like, this is fun. Like, I can tell you are in the shits right now. Like, handled, like, this is fun. Like, like, we enjoy doing this, but we handle our business first. So,
well, I was trying to get my Starlink to pull up, but apparently I haven't logged in.
You're out of
since I got it. No, I can't remember my password, and I guess I didn't save it.
Come on, Elon.
I'm telling you. Isn't that crazy?
Apparently him and Mr. Donald Trump are cool again. That's
been a while.
See, I haven't. I'm not super frosty on the news right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty out of it.
Yeah. Man, I had to check out. I had to tune into sailing in rowboats. I was like, this is too much.
Dude, it'll bum you out, man. There's never any good news.
Not a lot, man. Not a lot. Dude, earlier today, it's funny because it made me nervous, which I don't know. I don't know why it made me nervous, but I was like, ugh. I drove by the Gorilla Publishing truck.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I seen Mr. Ron Durbin driving down the road.
Where was this at?
I-44.
Oh.
I was literally driving by, and it was just a wrapped truck, and then I saw something like Gorilla, but spelled their way. Mm-hmm. And I was like, there's no way. And then went by him, and I was like, oh, there's a way.
Hey,
I'm like,
you want to know something?
Huh.
I don't know if I'm the only one, but I put a suggestion on his page when he was doing that. He was going to call it Gorilla, G-O-R, like a gorilla.
Right.
And I commented and was like, for what you're going to be doing,
you're doing guerrilla warfare.
It'd be really cool to spell it gorilla, like, guerrilla warfare.
Yeah. No, and that's nasty.
Now it's that, and I'm like, maybe I influenced that.
I would love to hear his take on that.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have said it if I didn't think that if it wasn't true, because I would never run that risk.
Well, that's what you never know what you're going to get.
I feel like I still have that in writing.
That
I should probably check.
I mean, honestly, bro, dude's ballsy anyway. You say what you want about him. There's a lot of opinions on Mr. Durbin, but he's got some nuts on him, if for nothing else. And I mean, even wrapping that truck and paying the money it cost to wrap that truck, you found the proof? Save that. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, all the shit he does, I feel like I would want my vehicle very unmarked. Like, ugh. Yeah. No, he has a knack for trying to piss people off.
He's good at it.
Bro, one of the best. No, and that's what I mean. Like, when I drove by him, I kind of like, am I good? Am I doing anything crazy? Like, I'm good. All right. Just waiting for a live stream. Okay, CTL. I've been waiting to talk about these guys. I'm like, oh, shit. No. I triggered them.
No negative publicity for us. Not from him, anyway.
Hey, dude, we've been out of the weeds for a little bit now.
Yeah, no, it's coming. It's been too long.
It's ebbs and flows, man. Ebbs and flows. Yeah, it's something that we can always count on.
We got anything on the cannabis front?
So, I'm sure you saw. There's been a lot of people very vocal about it in our space, but there is a new member of the EAC, the OMMA Advisory Council.
Another attorney.
His name is Colin Walker. He was appointed by Kevin Stitt.
Are you sure it's Colin Walker? I don't think it's Walker.
I'm pretty positive.
It's a weird last name. It's spelled weird and it's pronounced. I don't know how it's pronounced, but it's spelled weird.
I'm pretty sure it's just pronounced Walker. Maybe it's so it's Colin R. Walk E, and there's no R. So either that's a typo.
That's not a typo. Well, I think it is a typo. I think that's wrong too.
Hold on, actually.
Colin sounds right. It's not on the website. I looked. Well, it wasn't the other day.
No, it's Colin R. Walk. So yeah, it's Walke.
Okay.
Yeah. So I jacked the when I first saw it. It was from a friend of the show, putting out what he thought about it, and it's. I love it when I read with not just him, but there's a lot of like leading into like alluding that this guy's not going to be great for us. But the way it's done is like, I wonder how he's going to represent the patients of Oklahoma, because I found the official like letterhead from Kevin Stitt announcing that he's a member, and he is officially replacing Katie Nail. So they have that like in writing that he is the patient advocate replacing Katie Nail. And it did say that he has a patient card. I guess that's what makes him a patient advocate.
Okay.
Which I'm like, it's pretty low bar.
No pun intended.
Well, and it's like, you got to have, the dude's got to have some nerves of steel on him, because you're walking into a pretty hostile territory, replacing who you're replacing and how all that went. And it's not lost on me that he's an attorney. I'd love to know who he's represented and how this all kind of connects, or how he was found.
Well, has he been like what's his specialty?
Attorney.
Well, but
I don't know if it's criminal or
yeah. I know that he was. I looked him up. Man, it's been a few days. When I first heard, I heard before it was official, and I looked, and of course there was nothing on the website about him, but I did like Google his name, and he'd sat on a committee. I want to say it was something tribal maybe, or some type of like land trust thing, or I can't remember. It was a weird, but it didn't really allude to what kind of attorney what his specialty was, I guess.
Well, and so we know, or we don't know, but we're kind of assuming that once there is a new sheriff in town, that the council is probably going to look a little bit different. Is kind of the assumption, right? So
I think that's a safe assumption.
Well, and this feels which, I mean, here's the thing. I don't know anything. I'm just kind of looking at this couch quarterbacking. But if I'm in Kevin Stitt's position right now, and I want a dog in the fight, I'm going to put an attorney that, I'm comfortable with having sidebar conversations on the council while I can, before, because Adria Berry's the head of OMMA, the president, whatever you want to call her,
and she's an attorney as well.
When she leaves and somebody else is appointed, I wouldn't be shocked to see this guy kind of calling the new people to task. I was looking at it and I was like, man, like how would you have a voice in it once things start to shift around? But as I say that, I'm kind of thinking out loud, if it's as easy to remove somebody as saying, hey, you're out of here, then the first time he ruffled feathers, he'd probably be gone. But it's a curious move, because it's a move that there's a reason for it, but trying to figure out the reason is kind of like, like you wouldn't have spent the time to do this if you didn't have a goal in mind. And trying to figure out what that is, I'm curious to see this gentleman come out and talk. And
well, I think they have an obligation to keep the seats full, right? That may be just why. Maybe that was just an easy one to plug and play.
Do they? Like,
I feel like they do, but I don't know.
Because we know that there's historically been 2 seats that have remained unfilled.
Yeah, but I think that was more because they could. Well, that
one of them is
that may be it. That may be it. Maybe they have if they want to be able to have quorum, they have to maintain a certain percentage of people.
I see what you're saying.
But maybe I'm wrong.
No, he's getting lit up for sure.
The new guy?
Yeah. Like in our world. Well, we know of a few people that have been dying to get on the council. And so I've seen they've been pretty outspoken. And a lot of the like advocate groups, they weren't super thrilled with it. But I think you got to give the guy a shot. I mean, at the end of the day, this particular seat is highlighted because on paper it says it represents the patients. But when you list out who all holds the seats, I mean, we can all clear as day see it's not a true representation of the industry anyway. So
no, not even close.
Well, and nobody else is really being held to task on that board. You know what I mean? So it's I think
it's pretty sad. Our Steve Roper getting on there was an awesome thing that happened, and I'm scared that it will not matter much.
Well, and he's done a great job.
He's done a great job so far.
He's been to one meeting officially, and at the end of the day, I mean, he's just he's a respectful guy.
Right.
He's intelligent. And he's respectful, and he knows.
And he will be on the show, if not next Wednesday, then the following.
Yeah, no, he'd be awesome to have on. We just got to keep him out of trouble. Kate's
already warned me.
Yeah. Like, hey, and that's why we don't. This isn't I don't want to do like a full curtain pull, but we are not, in fact, live for these moments. We want to keep Steve on the board. We don't want to piss too many people off.
No, I'm kidding. Yeah, no, definitely not.
Dude, I mean, we're about as fair as you can be. Like, we don't really go hard on
100%.
anybody. No,
we don't go hard on anybody.
No.
Even people that are arguably deserve to be gone hard on.
Well, it's just not our lane.
No, we're not a gotcha podcast.
No, it's just not what we're trying to do here. We're trying to survive.
We're not spotless enough to be a gotcha podcast.
Yeah, hell no. No. We like friends.
That's funny.
No, it's because we would have. I mean, really, just about anybody on the show too.
Yeah, just about
with the same respect given to. I mean, everyone else. We're not. Well, me and you. We're not reporters. We're not journalists.
Speak for yourself.
Are you making a pivot?
Brandon Found live, Fox 7 News.
I mean, you could do it.
You know what I'm saying?
You could do it. It'd be. Here's the thing.
Everybody's always told me I had a face for radio.
Yeah, that's fair.
Whatever that means.
But I mean, beyond that, it's been. I don't know if quiet's the right word. A lot of people are scrambling on the edible side right now, trying to transition their products and packaging. I know we spoke about it a lot with Mr. Cannabis.
Kumbi.
But it's a real thing, dude. It costs a lot of money to reinvent how you're doing that. And it's a bummer because you're spending a lot of money to basically put out like a I don't know, like shittier product's not the word. The standard of the edibles will be just as good, but they're just going to look a lot sadder. They're going to be very bleak.
Very.
And it's going to be kind of funny at dispensaries. You're going to have like the sad edible wall, and then like the fun Rockstar infused pre-roll wall.
And carts are just gonna be
Popping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll never understand it.
I mean,
I
you'd be
understand-
wise.
I understand the idea. The execution is it's not there for me. But
No, it's just crazy that we're doing it like now. You know what I mean?
A whole lot that could have been focused on.
Right. Like out of all the lanes we're going, that's the hill. And we kind of circle on this a lot, but a lot of these things could be prevented. A lot of them, but just like it seems like the majority of our world hasn't quite caught on to how these things work. And I know it's real easy to point a finger and blame OMMA, but it's not OMMA that are making these changes. It is your local legislator. And there's a cool app. Man, I think we shouted it out before, but there's a cool app that we found that you can actually download this app and put in like your area, find out who your legislators are, and kind of see what they are working on. And yeah, it's called the Okla 60th. Okla, OKLA 60th. If you download that app, which the Control Burn has no affiliation, but we'd love to. If you download that app, you can literally find who your people are and what they're about, and you can go through and see all the like proposed bills. And this year was a really like a really quiet bill session or season. Next year, they're going to be through the election. There's going to be a lot more thrown at us. In
What's the name of this app?
Okla, OKLA 60th. You should have it on your phone. I know it was something our boss put us on.
Oklahoma Legislation Guide?
Yeah. I think sick. No, so next proposed rule session or season, there's going to be a shit ton of them. And at the last EAC, they alluded to this new edible rule change. It's the one that made it through. But the guy who authored that and many others fully intend to bring the rest of the industry in line with this edible thing that's going into effect. So we needed, I mean, and this is the cool thing of having Mary Lane on. She's been really active on the political side, and she's with the PCA and Dauntless and Donnybrook also. But she's been super active at the Capitol, and so when she comes in, I'm gonna see if she'll kind of give us like how to help fight a lot of these for dummies playbook, because we're really active when it's too late. I think a lot of the time with all these rule changes, and if we could kind of steer our industry to get ahead of these things and fight them, I think we could really prevent a lot of it. But it's learning how to play politics, and honestly, dude, it's not fun. It really sucks, kind of.
This is a really cool app.
It's sweet, dude.
You just press the area you live in, and it lights up the whole. Like Bill Coleman is the Senate at U.S. House District 1, Kevin Hearn, the manager for the electric company, Clay Stairs. Just really cool.
Yeah, no, it'll, because when you're a registered voter, like, you are assigned, right, to whatever your area is. So it doesn't do you a ton of good jumping around, but if you get to know who you're basically assigned to, you could really kind of start leaning on them and reaching out directly to them. to try to actually
they're very interested to hear you because you are going to represent a portion of their voter.
Right. Well, I mean, right. Well, and you got to think, dude, like, there's not a lot of people, like, outside of being directly involved in, like, politics that take any time to do any of this. And that's how they sneak so many, like, crazy rules in, and not just in cannabis, but, I mean, as a whole.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they're disguised as, like budget bills or whatever, but they disguise a lot of these like sneaky, shitty rule changes. And most of the time, if you see something going through that's making a lot of noise, that on face is super positive or is alluding to putting more money in your pocket, dig a little deeper.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be something in there that's going to fuck you. I don't know a lot, but that's one thing I've caught on to. I'm like, oh, okay. So the ones that sound cool.
If it sounds too good to be true, there's some stuff hidden.
Somewhere in there, they're going to make you wear 2 seatbelts or some shit. Like, there's going to be some tricky things in there.
You got to rename your firstborn. Something crazy.
Dude, it's how they do it. It's crazy.
Anything else going on in cannabis? Anything?
I mean,
since it's been pretty quiet since sessions, all that over with. Now everybody's just kind of waiting on November 1st, and I'm sure there'll be something pop off in between. We got the metric function handled, and what's our next event?
I think Cowboy Cup, which Cowboy Cup is at Rocklahoma.
When's Terp Float?
This year,
it was past that. Yeah, I meant not Terp Float.
Harvest Fest.
Harvest Fest is in September.
Yeah. So Harvest Fest will be next, and then Cowboy Cup. No, I'm pretty intrigued to see how Cowboy Cup goes, though. Being at Rocklahoma, I've never been to Rocklahoma.
I'm very excited for them as a brand, like Cowboy Cup, the brand. It's an exciting thing. I'm nervous that we're going to have negative backlash from it because, remember, that's a lot of out-of-state people that come to Rocklahoma.
Well, and a lot of the negative backlash with Terp Float was from out-of-state vendors because of the tightening on our industry. A lot of people were not giving out samples at Terp Float. And a lot of people outside of the industry have grown really accustomed to going to these like 4 or 5 big events that are going on every year to go and like try a bunch of like whatever. Well, this year the guys at Terp Float or the vendors, I guess, they weren't really doing that. And I saw a lot of people in the like Terp Float groups being like, man, I drove from, Arkansas or wherever, and I won't go next year if it's like this again. We didn't get any samples, and it's like, dude, I hear you, I do, but you, sir, haven't been paying attention.
People will just complain.
Well, I mean, those aren't the people that we're trying to keep happy. You know what I mean? So it's one of those, like, I get it, preach, but yeah, man, we're trying to all stay alive. And the ones that had the fuck it mentality, they're not around anymore, or most of them aren't. So, well, and that's like, I think moving forward, these events they're just naturally going to shift. And I think the ones that like Cowboy Cup jumping with Rocklahoma, pretty genius, because
that is a smart business move.
Yeah, man. Like,
I hope.
Well, and I mean, the guys who run that, I think they're smart enough to know that the way that we've been doing it is unfortunately coming to an end. And there's no way, like there was what's the big one? The big one in Vegas. What's that one called again?
I'm going this year, MJ BizCon.
Yeah. So the last MJ BizCon, there was a vendor that they brought all of their product, and they couldn't have it at the event because they didn't get the right permissions, or they didn't have the right whatever paperwork, or so they brought all these samples and they ended up having to leave it in their hotel room. Well, housekeeping came in, walked in, was like, oh my God, this thing's like full to the brim of weed. And there was like 3 or 4 dudes staying in this hotel room. They all got arrested. Yeah, straight up. Like, they all got. And, but I guess my point is, if we knew that we could have a business to business, like private event, and everybody would be cool and not put live streams out and not like, then there's a way that, like, you know, the kids could still have fun. But unfortunately, like, it doesn't work that way. Like, there's too many variables that are out of your control to put your name on something to continue to act that way. So you're either going to wait to get shut down. And the places like Harvest Fest is pretty unique because it's on private property.
And it's out there ways.
Right.
It's pretty secluded, and what goes on or what does or doesn't go on, it's not put out there as much. It's not as much online visibility as some of the other events.
Well, it's more of a, like, I don't know if family's the right word, but
definitely not the right word. I mean, honestly, like,
they have built a community.
Yes, and there are people that take kids out there. It's just they don't come into the festival because there's a whole. I would never take my kids, period. But there's a whole world in the campground that's like, you know.
No, literally like a whole world.
Like a whole world.
It's like a village.
There are some people that don't hardly come into the festival at all and just basically live at the campground. And if you're the kind of person that likes to camp, then, you know, giddy up. There's plenty of that, you know.
Well, and you got to have a patient card to get into the true Harvest Fest.
I don't think so. It's just the
you have to flash your card to get into the weed area, for sure.
Oh, you do? Mm-hmm. I thought it was just inside, like, the VIP area.
No. To actually, so there's 2 sections. There's like a everything vendor section.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Okay, you're right.
You have to actually like have a Oklahoma patient card to get into the to where the main stage is.
They've got a cool setup.
No, dude, Harvest Fest is awesome. Like, it really is. It's fun. It's one of those, like, for what we do, the first, like we saw kind of a trend, like a downward trend. And like, I guess the cool thing about it on the business side of it, when you're looking at like an ROI sense, is it's the same people every year. So like when we went the first year, like we did really good. Like we got a lot of new customers. Like it was great for us. And then the next year it was like kind of like cut in half. And then the next year it was like we probably don't keep spending as much money. And it's nothing like personal. It's just
and that's the thing with us. Like we don't just go to events and just bare minimum show up. That's not who Matthew is. Right. That's not who I am. It's just, we just can't do that. Like if we're going to go and we're going to sponsor and we're going to be a vendor at an event, we're going to spend some money because we want to do it right. We want to have fun while we're there.
No, if we can't be the main sponsor, we're going to be top 3. Like,
yeah.
And our booth is going to be something cool and unique.
Well, that's just like we did the first year we went, we didn't go as hard on the booth, but we went hard on
the sponsorship,
everything else we did. And then, the second year we went hard on the booth because we did that big ass tent, the oxygen bar. I mean, dude, we didn't rent. That's what, I don't know if people know that. We didn't rent that oxygen bar. We purchased it. It's here at the lab. It's back in sales. Well, half of it. The other half's in storage. But yeah, which by the way, we need to get that out.
That thing's badass, honestly.
I know, we need to get it out and set it up.
We should just have it always going. Anytime you need a spritz, especially in this weather.
I may get online and order some flavors.
No, we have an oxygen bar food truck. Just come up and buy hits of oxygen.
Son. Just like shots.
We could sell air all day.
Well, because it just uses those. It doesn't. You don't have to buy oxygen. It uses one of the
flavors.
Well, no, it uses the it uses an oxygen concentrator. So it pulls the oxygen out of the environment and concentrates it, and then gives it to you in concentrated form. So it's not pure oxygen you're getting. It's just a much denser amount of oxygen. Like, it would still be flammable if you lit the end of it. You shouldn't do that. But
I think it's pretty placebo effect-ish.
yeah, I mean, I can tell it when I put it on. You can just tell, but I don't know how much medical benefit there is to it. There's actually it's in a negative effect if you get too much actual oxygen. It's actually bad for your body to get pure or like a heightened oxygen. It's not good for you.
Just start floating away.
Read about that. No, it does something, but it's something to do with your respiratory or blood system. Your blood. It affects your blood in a negative way. I can't remember. I read about it. Actually, I was Googling it while we were out there at the event.
Making sure we're not.
Well, yeah, because I was like, man, like what's the? And then I found, there's certain diseases that people have, like they should not come have the oxygen bar at all. Like even with this level of oxygen, yeah, it's a whole thing. And the reason I kind of fell into rabbit holes because some lady came by and she was like a nurse or whatever, and she was like, "Are you guys giving this to anybody?" And we're like, "Anybody that wants it, yeah." And she was like, "Oh no, this is not okay." And I was like, "Yeah." She just freaking started spinning, and I'm like, "Hey, lady, we're not giving people pure oxygen. Have a peek.
Sit down and try it.
Also float away."
Yeah, right.
She wound up coming in and hitting it. I was like, "Oh, okay, so we're over it now."
Well, that's because like we're there just like, hey man, we're just trying to do something cool.
We're not medical professionals.
yeah, not even close.
You have to turn it on yourself.
We're not even allowed in the lab. So,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
right.
Like we don't do
I'm
this.
allowed to walk through, but I am not allowed to touch anything. I've actually been gotten onto if I look at things for too long.
Yeah, no.
Because they're thinking I'm plotting on
start
touching.
shouting for escorts and whatnot.
And I am. I be touching. No, I'm just kidding.
But yeah, I mean, beyond that, I know the next few weeks we should have some guests on. It'll be pretty fun.
Rope will be on in the next couple. I've got to firm it up with him, but pause. But if not, Roper will for sure be on in the next 3 weekends, as of right now. And then I think you got Mary Lane is going to be on in the next couple.
We got a couple that we need to.
We got a couple tentatives.
we got some that are itching to get on. Just trying to fish out the motive first.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. No, there's
reiterate. This is not live. We do have the ability to edit. Like you were never there.
We could just not, air
yeah,
it.
Just not air it.
Just waste
We don't want to, but we will.
Yeah, right. No. We've got some fun ones in the lineup, and then as we get closer to November 1st, I think which when Steve comes on, I want all the Berniacs, the burnouts out there to kind of hear the way he lays it out on what like the expectation that he as he perceives it is with this new packaging requirement. Like I've heard a few people hear his take on it, and in which I totally get it, man, because you don't want it to be that way. You know what I mean?
No, and so everybody that I've mentioned his take to is like, absolutely not.
They're in mental scramble, which I get it, because like you're thinking of all the fucking money you've invested into where you're at right now. But unfortunately, which he's not an attorney, he didn't make the rule. But
and I'll say this without saying it: if I had an extra paycheck to just bet one way or the other, I would bet it on what he's saying is true.
Straight up.
Because he may or may not have people in his ear that are telling him things, may or may not.
Well, and we all know that there's going to be a lot of people, maybe not a lot, but a handful of people are going to hang on to what they believe their argument could be on how to get around it. And Which here's the thing, man. We all know a lot of people get away with shit that
Yes.
they shouldn't. But that just comes down to there's not enough time in the day or manpower to enforce everything on everybody. But eventually, you're gonna have to have that argument.
Bro, people are still doing stuff that I hear about that I'm like, that has been changed for a very long time, and I've actively seen people get in trouble for that. What are you doing?
Well, you're just a ticking time bomb.
Yeah,
like you're just
that's
waiting in.
Scary, bro.
Well, which I was gonna say I love. I don't love it, but I
You hate it.
when I see different people that like are like kind of lying to themselves on what their argument is,
Exactly what you're saying.
which I'm straight about. Like, because if I hear your argument and I know Shane Davis with no attorney experience, or if I can poke through your argument, you're probably fucked.
beat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like I'm
bad.
sorry, but I'm just coming off of like from a common sense angle.
Yeah, if I can poke holes all through your argument, you're in deep trouble.
Well, and then like a lot of they'll like kind of hang on to but, and it's like yeah.
Like, all right, brother, I'm not OMMA, so whatever.
Yeah, we're right. Yeah, I'm not enforcing.
I can't tell you how many times I say it. Like, I'm not OMMA. Like,
but
I'm your friend.
when I hear out of like the OMMA director's mouth,
Right.
things said a certain way, I'm like, oh, well, that's what it is.
Facts.
You know what I mean? It's like
Facts.
that's what it is. Like, I'm sorry, it does suck, but
I hate it too. Yeah.
but we'll be here to test it.
We'll be here to talk about it afterwards.
But yo, that's
I'm done.
legit. That's all I got,
nothing.
brother.
I got nothing. I'm tired. I'm sick. I'm still getting over my sickness. Yeah, I woke up Sunday just
With a lukewarm throat and aged after
with
several minutes
just
throat.
very spicy upper body sensations. Like I was coughing and it was burning.
Tell them to eat pineapple. It'll sweeten it up.
Jesus, Murphy.
but-
oh my God, you need to go to church.
But yeah, as always, I'm Shane Davis.
And I'm the man with the hot throat, Brandon Fountain, and we are the Controlled Burn, and we'll be the Controlled Burn next week when we see you again. Goodbye.
We out.